Hello, and welcome to this video series looking at the story differences between the original Mafia and the Definitive Edition. I'll be going through each of the missions one by one and discussing the changes as well as my opinions about them. I will try to limit discussion only to things that have happened up to the point in the games I am talking about, but there is a high risk of spoilers, so be warned. The original Mafia was released in 2002, developed by Illusion Softworks and published by Gathering of Developers. When I first played the game, I remember being struck by how real the world and characters felt. These were people that could have actually existed, and events that could have actually happened. This is in contrast to contemporary games like Grand Theft Auto that were ridiculous and over the top. Since the release, both the developer and the publisher were acquired by Take-Two Interactive, with Illusion Softworks eventually being merged into the 2K studio Hangar 13. The Definitive Edition of Mafia was released in 2020, developed by Hangar 13 and published by 2K Games. The first thing that struck me was how good the game looked. The people, the cars, the city, it all looked amazing. The second thing that struck me was the changes. It wasn't just additional dialogue or a bit of polish, but characters acting completely differently, and events having a wildly different tone. That's what inspired me to make this video series. The prologue for both games starts in 1938 with the player character Tommy Angelo and police detective Norman meeting in a cafe. Tommy is offering to provide information about his time with Mafia in exchange for Norman providing protection for Tommy's family. Right off the bat we get a change because the original starts with Tommy entering.
Sorry for the delay, but I didn't want anybody seeing me, if you know what I mean.
While the remake starts with Norman entering.
You alone. No self-respecting badges coming in here unless it's the health inspector.
I believe this was done to make Tommy more active in the introduction. Instead of Tom politely telling Norman that he's worried about being followed, we have Tom asking Norman if he's alone. This leads into the two biggest changes in the new version. One, making it more action-oriented, and two, changing Tommy into a tough guy. One of these guys looks more likely to punch you than the other. As a hint, it's not this one.
Your coffee, sir.
Thanks.
But we will talk more about that as we go through the game. In the remake, we also get more backstory for Norman.
How long you been in town?
3 years. Caught my teeth in Empire Bay.
Well, they handed you the Morello case. Right out of the gate.
I think this is done to connect Norman to the story more, which I can understand wanting to do, but this seems like a strange way to do it. If these scenes need any additions, it would have been an explanation for why Tommy thinks he can trust Norman. I would have tried to indicate that these two have a history, and either insert Norman into the main story, or talk about a run-in between the two characters before the game starts. Norman working the Morello case connects him to the story, but doesn't do anything to explain why Tommy contacted him. He could have been a crooked cop that buried the case as soon as he got it. Also, this whole thing is a bit of a spoiler. New players won't know what the Morello case is, but once they start playing, they might clue in, and then they'd know where things are going. This removes tension from a lot of the game. Also, why does Tommy have a 3-year-old newspaper hanging around? Anyways, it's interesting that in the remake, Norman takes control of the conversation.
Your neck's gotta be aching from all that looking over your shoulder you're doing. No, the way I figure it is you got someone powerful mean on your tail and they ain't giving up until you end up in the river. And you walk out that door without me, we both know you're not making it 5 steps.
While in the original, Norman is more excited about the chance to take down a crime boss.
Does the name Salieri mean anything to you?
Salieri? It damn well does. You got something in common with him?
Also in the new version, we get this bit of Tommy lamenting his life.
Christ, I don't know how everything got so balled up.
In both versions, the prologue ends with Tommy starting to tell his story about being a cab driver in 1930, which is also where this video is going to end. There's a lot more I could say, but since the prologue technically occurs at the end of the story, I don't want to get too deep into it right now. Next time we are going to look at the first mission, an offer you can't refuse. Thanks for watching.